And sportswear giant Adidas has lost a court battle over its famous three stripes logo. The company had in fact sued designer for trademark infringement.
Backlash to Kanye West's offensive and anti-Semitic remarks. Tonight, the biggest corporate sponsor, Adidas, has now ended the partnership.
Has the fact that people are talking about Adidas making Adidas different and interesting is more valuable.
You could actually buy, for example, Nike or Adidas tennis shoes. This was the one place in the entire Eastern Bloc where you could do that. The first McDonald's behind the Iron Curtain.
Kanye West's billion-dollar empire collapsing with Adidas, Gap.
I had it all. I had the Adidas with no laces. I had the Gazelles. I had the big gold chain. I had the Mercedes Benz. I was selling weed. I had my girls and all that.
Adidas.
Adidas.
Adidas. Sports and fashion have always been intertwined, constantly evolving to meet the needs and wants of athletes and fashion lovers. Welcome to the story of Adidas, the iconic sportswear brand that has come a long way from its humble beginning to becoming a global icon. This is the story of the company that started with a dream and has now become a leader in the sportswear industry. But before we dig deeper and find out more information about Adidas, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the notification bell so that you always get updated every time we upload a new story about your favorite companies in the world. Born in 1900 in a town of Herzogenaurach, Germany, Adolf Dassler was the youngest of four siblings. His father Christoph was a tailor and his mother Pauline ran the family laundry business. Adolf completed high school and following the wishes of his father, he entered an apprentice to become a baker. Although he finished his training, a life of bread making did not hold much appeal, so he decided instead of to learn the skills of shoe making. Away from work, Adolf's main passion was sports, accompanied by his childhood friend Fritz Zahlen, the son of a local blacksmith who played a key role later in his story. He played and competed in numerous sports including track and field, football, boxing, ice hockey, skiing, and ski jumping. Through exposure to such wide variety of sports, he made a key observation that would later be the genesis of his success throughout his life. Adolf observed that all athletes essentially wore the same shoe. Before he could begin turning his sports shoe idea into a business, Adolf Dassler was conscripted into the German army in the late stages of World War I. When he returned home in 1919, Germany was stricken by post-war economic depression. Jobs were scarce, but determined not to let his dream die, Adolf converted the old laundry shed at the back of his home into a shoe workshop. Using the shoemaking skills he had learned, he made money by repairing footwear for the locals. This finally gave him the time and resources to develop his first pair of shoes. Specialty sports shoes, as one of the first innovations was the pair of spiked running shoes for track and field athletes. At the time, this was a brand new concept for the sport. They had hand-forged metal spikes supplied by the local blacksmith who was Adolf's childhood friend Fritz Zahlen. Adolf was also joined by his older brother Rudolf Dassler, and on July 1st, 1924, they registered their first company together called Dassler Brothers Sports Shoe Factory, and by then their startup had 3 employees based on their one-room workshop, producing leather football boots with nailed studs as well as spiked track shoes as the German economic situation improved. Later on, business started picking up and the brothers relocated to a bigger building in where they invested in new machinery and expanded their production. Adidas turned his passion into reality in 1948 when he founded the Adidas company. He started with a small workshop and began making shoes that were not only comfortable but also provided the necessary support for athletes. The company's logo has 3 stripes which represented the support and stability that Adi wanted to provide to athletes. Adidas quickly gained popularity among athletes and fans alike. Its shoes were worn by some of the world's greatest athletes and helped them achieve their goals. In the late 20s and their early 30s, the main global sporting events were World Cup, soccer, and Olympic Games. Dassler brothers believed that if they could get their shoes on the feet of athletes, it would help those competitors succeed and authenticate the quality of the Dassler product. Their first success came in the 1928 Olympics in Amsterdam when Adolf gave German distance runner Lena Radke a pair of his spiked track shoes. It was the first time women had been allowed to compete in the race, and she won. She won the world record at that time, hence making the shoe become much more popular. Adolf developed a relationship with the up-and-coming black American athlete Jesse Owens. When Jesse lost his track shoes on the way to the games in Berlin, photos from the time suggest that Adolf stepped in to help him, providing him with some of Dassler brothers' shoes to try out, and when he wore these shoes, he went on to win 4 gold medals. Imagine. And later, he became an ambassador for the company in the later future. However, the success of Adidas was not without any challenges. After World War II, the stress created a division between brothers Adolf and Rudolf Dassler, so they separated and went separate ways. They divided the firm's assets, and following this, they became business rivals. Rudolf formed his own sports shoe company, which eventually became known as Puma. At the global headquarters of both companies, Adidas and Puma, up to today, they are still based in the same town of Herzogenaurach. Adolf wanted to ensure that his company had a distinctive look for people to clearly recognize them on the feet of athletes, so he experimented with the decorative straps on the side of his shoes, and that is how the brand of 3 Stripes was born. Adolf started using the 3 Stripes logo as a trademark for the company in 1949 up to date. Coming up with a name, Adi wanted to register his name, but it was too long and no one could even register such a name, so he combined both his names, Adolf and the family name Dassler, making the name Adidas. So despite all the challenges, Adidas continued to innovate and improve its products. The company faced economic recessions, increased competition, and product failures, and it always bounced back stronger. It continued to focus on its own mission of providing high-quality products to athletes and fans alike. And by 1960s, the company Adidas employed more than 500 people and was the world's largest producer of sports shoes. Despite his increasing age and company success, Adolf Dassler continued to obsessively innovate, creating Adidas shoes that were lighter, more comfortable, and fulfilled the needs of the demands. In 1967, he produced the first tracksuit and field warm-up suit. The tracksuit was born and the whole new world of sports apparel was created. Up to today, different clothes have been put out, different tracksuits, different sports bags, different sports shoes have been put out under the name Adidas. This influence extended beyond the worlds of sports as the brand became a staple in the sportswear scene. They collaborated with popular designers and celebrities that helped cement its status as a global icon that it is today. Adidas continues to innovate and evolve, maintaining its position as a global leader in the sports and fashion industries. The brand's commitment to quality, innovation, and sustainability ensure its legacy will endure for generations to come. That is the story of Adolf Dassler and Adidas, how the company was formed up to where it is today. Adidas continues to grow, and I'm sure they are continuing to innovate new things, new items, and beat the competition.